There's a muscle deep in your leg that most people never train. Yet without it, you'll struggle to stand from a chair, climb stairs, or even balance on uneven ground. My grandfather used a simple, science-backed routine to rebuild this muscle in just 30 days after a fall left him barely able to walk. And today, I'll show you exactly how it works, step by step. Let me take you back to a moment that changed how I think about aging and strength. I walked into my grandfather's living room and saw him using the edge of the sofa for support, slowly pushing himself up, and then sitting back down, almost defeated. The man who once carried me on his shoulders now struggled to stand. What happened? This is the reality for millions of people after 60. Muscles don't just get weaker because of age. They shrink because the nervous system stops activating them fully. And here's the surprising part. Science now shows that this process, called neuromuscular deconditioning, can be reversed far faster than most people think. A 2019 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that even in adults over 70, targeted, low-impact resistance training can increase muscle strength by up to 113% in 1 month. Not by building new muscle from scratch, but by reactivating dormant muscle fibers that the brain has stopped using. That's exactly what my grandfather tapped into. He didn't join a gym. He didn't take expensive supplements. He used a simple set of movements, just 10 minutes, twice a day, combined with a precise breathing rhythm and a surprisingly easy nutrition tweak. Within 4 weeks, his legs were so strong that he could walk the hilly path to his garden again without holding on to me. Today, I'm going to share the hidden muscle activation principle that reignites leg strength fast. The exact movement sequence that improves balance, circulation, and neuromuscular control. A breathing technique that enhances oxygen delivery to your muscles by up to 20%. And the little-known nutrient pairing that makes your muscle fibers more responsive to exercise. And here's the twist. This isn't just about walking. Stronger legs mean better blood sugar control, improved brain function, and even reduced risk of falls by more than 50%. That's why, even if you can already walk fine, this routine can be the difference between independence and needing help in the years ahead. So, whether you're recovering from weakness or you just want to future-proof your mobility, stay with me, because before the end, I'm going to show you the exact grandfather's test he used to measure his progress, and I bet you can't pass it right now. Imagine you've got a light bulb that's dim, flickering, barely giving off light. Most people would assume the bulb is faulty, but what if the real problem is the switch? That's exactly what happens to your legs as you get older. It's not always that the muscle tissue has disappeared. It's that your brain has stopped fully flipping the switch to activate all the fibers you still have. Here's what the research shows. In a 2019 paper published in the Journals of Gerontology, scientists found that when older adults started a targeted resistance program, most of their early strength gains came from better neural recruitment, not from building brand new muscle. In other words, the muscle was there all along. The brain just wasn't using it. And here's why that matters. Your brain communicates with your muscles through motor neurons, like an electrical signal traveling through a wire. Over time, especially if you've been less active or avoided certain movements due to pain, those signals weaken. Think of it as a group chat where half the members have been muted. The solution? You have to wake up those sleeping fibers before you can truly get stronger. That's what I call the neural wake-up effect. A simple tool to apply is the 90-second activation drill. Sit tall in a chair, feet flat on the floor, knees at 90 degrees. Drive your heels into the floor as if you're trying to push it away, without actually lifting your feet. Hold that tension for 10 seconds. Release, then repeat 8 more times, each time trying to push harder. End with a slow, controlled stand-up without using your hands. This drill does 2 things. It increases the signal strength from your brain to your quads, hamstrings, and glutes. It recruits dormant fibers, so when you do walk, climb stairs, or exercise, more of your muscle is working. You'll feel the difference almost immediately. Your legs will feel warmer, more solid under you, like you've plugged them back into the socket. And here's the bigger picture. When your nervous system learns to fire more fibers at once, it sends a message to your muscles that says, "Hey, we're needed." That's when real adaptation starts, not just strength, but balance, confidence, and mobility. Most people skip this step and jump straight into exercises. That's like trying to race a car without turning the ignition. If you start with activation, everything that follows becomes more effective, faster. If you're finding this insight helpful, this is just the first layer. Now, we'll talk about the anchor muscles you must train first, or everything else fails. These are muscles most people overlook completely, and they're the hidden stabilizers that make every step safer. If you've ever tried leg exercises and thought, "Why aren't my legs getting stronger?" The answer may be this: you've been building on a shaky foundation. Here's a little secret most trainers don't tell you. The first muscles you need to strengthen aren't your quads or hamstrings. They're the anchor muscles, the deep stabilizers in your hips and calves that keep you upright and balanced. Think of a suspension bridge. The massive roadway is supported by thick cables, but without the small anchor bolts at either end, the whole structure would collapse. Your body works the same way. The research backs this up. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Physiology found that in older adults, weakness in the glute medius, a small hip muscle, and the soleus, a deep calf muscle, was linked to slower walking speed, poorer balance, and higher fall risk, even when their bigger leg muscles were strong. Here's why. These muscles control lateral stability, your ability to keep from tipping sideways, and they assist in push-off power when you walk. Without them, every step is less efficient, and your brain unconsciously limits your movement to avoid instability. That's why many people take smaller, slower steps as they age. A simple tool to apply is the sidestep anchor drill. Stand with a countertop or chair beside you for support. Place a light resistance band around your ankles. Step sideways slowly, keeping your feet straight and knees slightly bent, 10 steps in one direction, then 10 back. Feel for that burn on the side of your hips and deep in your calves. That's your anchor system waking up. If you don't have a band, you can still activate these muscles by simply stepping sideways without crossing your feet, focusing on control and posture. The beauty of training anchor muscles is that it primes your nervous system for better balance instantly. Many of my clients report feeling lighter on their feet after just one session, not because they built new muscle overnight, but because they re-engaged the stabilizers that make movement safer and more efficient. Pro tip: do this drill before your main leg exercises. It tells your brain, we've secured the foundation. Now you can build power without fear of falling. If this is clicking for you, you're going to love what's next. Because once you've woken up your neural pathways and strengthened your anchors, we can unlock something even more powerful: blood flow and oxygen delivery, the fuel your legs need to truly come alive. If you're finding these tips valuable, consider subscribing. That way you won't miss the rest of this series where we break down mobility science step by step. You can have the strongest muscles and the sharpest neural signals, but if the fuel isn't getting there, you're still driving on an empty tank. Here's a fact most people miss. Your muscles can't contract effectively without oxygen. And not just a little. When you walk or climb stairs, your leg muscles can demand up to 10 times more oxygen than when you're sitting. The problem? As we age, blood vessels lose some flexibility. Circulation slows, and less oxygen-rich blood reaches the muscle fibers that need it most. A 2016 study in the American Journal of Physiology showed that reduced vascular responsiveness, your arteries' ability to dilate, was a major factor in age-related muscle fatigue, even in otherwise healthy older adults. So the question becomes, how do we get more blood, more oxygen, to the working muscles without pushing the heart into overdrive? Here's what the research shows. Breathing rhythm can directly influence oxygen delivery. Controlled, rhythmic breathing increases nitric oxide production in the nasal passages, a natural vasodilator that relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and allows more oxygen to move from your lungs into your bloodstream. A simple tool to apply is the 3-2-5 breathing cadence, especially during leg drills. 1. Inhale through your nose for 3 seconds. Feel your belly expand, not your chest. 2. Hold for 2 seconds. This brief pause allows oxygen to saturate your bloodstream. 3. Exhale through pursed lips for 5 seconds. This creates back pressure, keeping airways open longer. Pair this with your exercises. For example, as you lower into a chair squat, inhale for 3, pause at the bottom for 2, then exhale for 5 as you stand. You'll notice something. Movements feel smoother. You fatigue more slowly. Your muscles get that warm, almost awake sensation because they're literally being fed more oxygen and nutrients in real time. This isn't just about performance, it's about recovery. Better blood flow means waste products like lactic acid are cleared faster, so you're less sore the next day and more likely to stay consistent. Most people think strength training is all about muscles, but the truth is, strong circulation is the quiet engine that powers every step you take. Now that your brain, your anchors, and your circulation are firing together, it's time to address something most people skip, and it's the single biggest reason for avoidable injuries: balance. Now, we'll cover the balance before power rule, and I'll give you a 2-minute stability circuit you can do right in your kitchen. Here's a hard truth. Most people try to get stronger, and then they get hurt doing it. It's not because their exercises were wrong. It's because they skipped the order that the body demands. Strength without stability is like stacking bricks on a wobbly table. Eventually, something gives. The research is clear on this. A 2020 review in Age and Aging found that balance training alone reduced fall risk by up to 43% in older adults. And when combined with strength training, the effect was even greater. Not only fewer falls, but faster walking speed and better confidence in daily movement. Why? Because balance isn't just about muscles. It's a team effort between your proprioceptive system, sensors in your joints and muscles, your vestibular system, the inner ear's balance organ, and your visual system. If one of these players isn't trained, the others can't fully compensate. That's why my rule is simple: balance before power. Get your stability dialed in, and every ounce of strength you gain will be safer and more useful. A simple tool to apply is the 2-minute stability circuit. 1. Countertop heel raises, 30 seconds. Hold lightly for balance. Rise onto the balls of your feet slowly, then lower with control. This trains ankle stability and calf endurance. 2. One-leg stand with support, 30 seconds each leg. Stand near a countertop, lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Keep your hips level. Switch legs. 3. Tandem stance, 30 seconds. One foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe. Slightly bend your knees and focus your gaze forward. 4. Mini side step back step combo, 30 seconds. Step sideways, then back, alternating directions. This teaches your body to adjust to shifts and weight quickly. These micro drills are deceptively powerful because they retrain the reflexes that keep you upright when you stumble, reach for something, or turn quickly. And here's a quick engagement challenge for you. Go stand next to a chair and see if you can balance on one leg for more than 20 seconds without holding on. Comment below with your time. I'd love to see how you compare to my grandfather's results after week 2 of his program. When you train balance first, you're essentially telling your nervous system, we can handle this load. Go ahead and build more muscle. That's the green light for safe, confident progress. Now, we'll talk about something most people think they already understand: nutrition for muscle building. But there's a twist. It's not just about protein. There's a nutrient pairing hiding in your spice cabinet that could make your muscles respond faster to training. Why protein alone isn't enough? Ask almost anyone how to build muscle, and they'll say, eat more protein. And they're right, but only halfway. Here's the surprising truth. If your body is dealing with chronic, low-grade inflammation, which is common after 60 due to joint wear, oxidative stress, and even hidden gut issues, then simply eating more protein won't guarantee muscle growth. Your muscles can only respond to protein if the environment inside your body is primed for repair. What the research shows is fascinating. A 2017 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who combined leucine-rich protein, like whey or pea protein, with curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, saw greater improvements in muscle protein synthesis than those who consumed protein alone. Why? Because curcumin is a potent anti-inflammatory that reduces muscle catabolism, the breakdown of muscle tissue, while protein stimulates muscle anabolism or building. Think of it as clearing the construction site before bringing in materials. A simple tool to apply is what I call the golden shake. 1. Base protein, 20 to 25 grams of whey isolate or pea protein for those avoiding dairy. 2. Anti-inflammatory boost, half teaspoon turmeric powder. 3. Absorption enhancer, a pinch of black pepper, piperine and pepper can boost curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. 4. Blend with water or almond milk. Add a small handful of berries for antioxidants. Drink this within 60 minutes of your leg training session. That's when your muscles are most receptive to amino acids, and the anti-inflammatory compounds help speed recovery so you can train consistently without lingering soreness. The bonus? Curcumin also supports brain health, improves blood vessel flexibility, and has been shown to lower markers of oxidative stress, all of which contribute to better mobility and overall vitality. Most people focus only on the fuel, protein, without checking if the engine, your recovery systems, is ready to use it. By pairing protein with targeted anti-inflammatory support, you make every rep, every walk, and every drill we've discussed so far work harder for you. Now that we've covered the science, the drills, the breathing, and the nutrition, there's one last piece to tie it all together. A simple self-test my grandfather used to measure his progress. And I'll warn you, most people can't pass it the first time. Now, the grandfather's test, and it's the ultimate way to see if your legs are truly coming back to life. The ultimate measure of leg strength and independence. Here's the thing about leg training. Gym numbers and exercise reps are nice, but they don't always tell you if your legs are truly functional in everyday life. That's why my grandfather had a different standard, and it came from a physical therapy benchmark used worldwide. It's called the 5 sit-to-stand test. The rules are simple. Sit in a standard height chair, feet flat, arms crossed over your chest. Stand up fully and sit back down, 5 times as fast as you can, without using your hands. Here's what the research shows. A 2014 study in Physical Therapy Journal found that taking more than 15 seconds to complete this test is linked to higher fall risk and reduced mobility. Under 10 seconds? That's the sweet spot for strong, independent movement. Why is this test so powerful? Because it demands leg strength, balance, and neuromuscular coordination all at once, the exact systems we've been training in the last 5 sections. When my grandfather first tried it, he barely made it through in 22 seconds, and that was with some shaky balance. After 30 days of the neural wake-up drills, anchor muscle training, breathing for blood flow, stability circuits, and the golden shake, he hit 9.8 seconds without holding onto anything. A simple tool to apply. 1. Try the 5 sit-to-stand test today and write down your time. 2. Repeat it once a week, under the same conditions, to track progress. 3. Celebrate even small improvements. Shaving off 2 seconds is a big win for your nervous system and strength. What's happening in your brain when you improve is fascinating. Your motor cortex becomes more efficient at firing the right muscles in the right order. Your cerebellum, the brain's balance center, refines movement patterns so you use less energy. And your muscles, now better fed with oxygen and protein, can respond with more power. Passing this test isn't about bragging rights. It's about knowing that when you need to get out of a chair, climb stairs, or recover from a stumble, your body will answer without hesitation. Now, we've covered every element my grandfather used to rebuild his legs in just 30 days. Wake up dormant muscles with neural activation. Secure your anchor stabilizers before big lifts. Fuel your movement with better blood flow and oxygen delivery. Protect yourself with balance-first training. Feed your recovery with the nutrient pairing that makes muscles respond. Test yourself with a real-world benchmark that keeps you motivated. And here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these tools and start today. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Today. Because the biggest regret I hear from people over 60 isn't about what they tried and failed. It's about what they never tried while they still could. If this routine resonated with you, join our community here by subscribing. Drop a comment below with your 5 sit-to-stand score and let's see how much we can improve together over the next month. Your legs aren't gone. They're just waiting for you to wake them up. We have traveled through every critical step my grandfather used to rebuild his legs in just 30 days. And here's the big takeaway. True strength after 60 isn't just about muscles. It's about neural activation, stability, circulation, nutrition, and measurable progress working together. Think about it. Waking up dormant fibers primes your brain and muscles to work in harmony. Strengthening anchor muscles gives you a foundation that prevents falls. Boosting blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to every fiber. Balance-first training ensures safety and efficiency. And the right nutrient pairing makes every movement more effective. Finally, testing yourself with the 5x sit-to-stand gives you real, tangible proof that you're improving, not just feeling stronger, but actually moving better in the world. Why does this matter? Because stronger legs are more than a physical victory. They're freedom. They allow you to walk without hesitation, climb stairs confidently, engage with your loved ones, and stay independent. They improve your circulation, your brain health, and your overall quality of life. Every step becomes safer, every movement more efficient, and every day more empowered. Here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for tomorrow. Pick one of the tools, even the 90-second activation drill, and start today. Track your progress, celebrate small wins, and layer each step one by one. Consistency compounds, and in 30 days, you might surprise yourself with strength you thought was lost forever. Finally, remember this, you're not alone. Strength after 60 is built through small, deliberate actions every day, and by joining a community of learners, you amplify motivation, accountability, and results. Comment your progress, share your victories, and let's grow together. Your legs aren't gone. They're waiting for you to wake them up. Step into this routine, trust the science, and reclaim the mobility, independence, and confidence that are rightfully yours.